on, Port fans? Welcome back to another video on my channel, and today we're going to be reviewing Port Adelaide's Round 11 clash against the Saints, which was held at Zhangwan Stadium in Shanghai. It was a beauty of a game to watch. Port Adelaide getting the job done by a massive 70 points, and could you believe it? They actually kicked straight. We'll touch on that a little bit later on, but let's get into this review and see how Port bet the Saints.
Beautiful palm down to Boak, to Amon, to Rosie, to Butters. Bonner, she's got plenty of shoe on that. That sails, it's out of here.
A massive day for the Port Adelaide Football Club overall, not just the game itself. It's the biggest event of the year besides a showdown held by Port Adelaide. It is a cultural experience for fans to go over and enjoy themselves. It is breaking new grounds in terms of playing AFL footy across the sea, and it became one of the big events in Shanghai. Well, not really, there's only 9,000 people there, but apparently 400 or 500 people were left on a bus stranded at another stadium, which is unfortunate for that major sponsor who missed out on what was a beauty of a game by Port Adelaide. They simply were on from the start, and can you believe it, we kicked a goal in the first quarter. We haven't done that previously for 3 out of the 4 games that we've played before this one. We kicked 5 goals to 3, and in the end, that was just the stepping stone for how well we played thereafter. A full 4-quarter performance to beat off St Kilda, who early on, they were matching Port Adelaide's pressure. They were really taking the pressure to Port Adelaide in terms of the midfield battle, but also when coming out of our 50, our defence seemed a little bit off. Early, they weren't really awake. The likes of Clury and who else was down? DBJ and all that. Those types of players that just didn't look 100% in terms of their mindset being on. And maybe that was, a mix of not quite being on of late in terms of the last couple of games, etc. like that. But everyone else seemed switched on. And whenever St Kilda did get a goal or did hit the scoreboard, we really replied really quickly. And that was a big positive for us, considering that once teams start to hit the scoreboard against us, they do get on a little bit of a roll and they can peg 2 or 3 goals really quickly, which we didn't give St Kilda an opportunity. And in the end, the second quarter came along and we absolutely turned it on, kicking I think it was 6 goals we ended up kicking. We just were constantly hitting the scoreboard, constantly putting pressure inside 50. And that was one of the biggest things we've been talking about as Port fans since the beginning of this year. The amount of entries we get inside 50, the amount of opportunities we give ourselves to hit the scoreboard and put pressure on the opposition. There's nothing more pressurising in AFL footy than scoreboard pressure. That's when you start to hit the mindset of the opposition. And St Kilda crumbled. They couldn't handle the conditions in Shanghai. They looked lackluster. There was no energy in the middle of the ground, and Port Adelaide's defensive unit as a whole, like team defence, moved extremely well to cover any sort of attack that St Kilda gave. And when that was the case, we switched it over. We hit to Dougal Howard up forward, who was sensational all day, kicked a couple of goals, but took some great marks on the wing and really was a great lead-up target. And I reckon by the time Dixon comes back, he might be obviously he'll be the option to go back again, but when Dixon comes back, I can really see Howard working up the ground. He could be that Westhoff type, that utility that switches back, goes forward, can play in the middle a bit. Not quite a midfielder, but roaming on the wing. And I think Dougal Howard has that potential. And Westhoff looked great as well yesterday. And they really combined well to be a lead up and really mixed well in different positions. So it was good to see Dougal Howard get involved in the game. The other one that I really wanted to talk about as well was Dan Houston. The big move to put him in the middle. A couple of coaching genius moves yesterday against St Kilda. And that one in particular, putting Dan Houston in the middle. We had no problem playing in the middle while Rockcliffe was out. 28 touches, he had 80% efficiency and was just all over the place early. Slowed off a bit towards the end, but that might have been just a bit of fatigue playing in the midfield, a little bit of extra energy and a bit of fitness needed there. But he's moving around the footy, and his hitting up of targets was sensational. And to mix with the likes of Robbie Gray and Travis Boak in the middle with Sam Powell-Pepper, they were just extraordinary in there. And Dan Houston really mixed really well, so that was good to see. Riley Bonner was the one I wanted to touch on as well. He played on more of a wing role, which was obviously with Burton coming into the side as well. We wanted to look a bit more pacey, a bit more attacking. That's why we took out Frampton, and Laddams came out for Lysette, who was fantastic on the day as well. Really looked solid, moving around the ground. And he is one of the big key pickups of the year. Him and Burton really combining really well. I think Burton as well down in defence, he just kicks the footy so beautifully. Didn't use it as well, 60% efficiency. But the main thing is he's got a bit of pace about him, and he can hit up a few targets or get the ball outside over the defensive 50 really quickly. And that's what's going to help us, utilise our inside 50 opportunities and really pressurise the team, the opposition, to keep the ball in our attacking half. And we did that for majority of the day, and St Kilda couldn't handle that. And that's why the likes of Bonner, that's the Houston, I think, and as well as Rosie and stuff like that, they really combined well. Rosie a bit more deep, Bonner outside 50, Houston in the middle of the ground. Bonner's bombs were on fire yesterday. I won't lie, he was letting them go from everywhere. Left foot, right foot, outside 50, pockets. Unbelievable. It was one of the best games I've seen Riley Bonner play, and he certainly deserved all the praise, along with Carl Amon, who was sensational again. He had 28 touches, and he was a providing target. He had about 80% efficiency as well, which is sensational from Amon, considering there's so many haters for him, and he really needs to keep his spot and keep performing the way he has been to keep his spot. But the main thing is he's performing at the moment, and we needed a left footer to stand up. Him and Bonner can combine really well along the wing, which is sensational. With the other guy on the other side of the wing, who was Xavier Dersma, Arrow Boy, he has been amazing this year. One of the most underrated rookies of 2019. Definitely right up there with Rosie at the moment. And Sam Walsh as well. I reckon his consistency has been second to none. And the way he plays on the wing, he can hit targets, he can hit the scoreboard, he's pressurised teams, he's got pace. And that's the major thing we needed when Pollock was going out. And, a couple of others that we dropped as well. Dersma is sensational. And I reckon we've got to find Port fans. We've got someone in there who's just going to be capable of playing at that consistent, hard-running, attacking footy. I want to talk about the engine room a bit, and what I mean by that is the two key pillars that played in the middle of the ground and sometime up forward were Robbie Gray and Travis Boak. We were watching the Robbie Gray and Travis Boak show on Sunday in Shanghai. The Chinese got a great first-hand live look at them, and they were simply fantastic. Boak's ability to impact the game early and really turn it on, be a strong leader in the middle of the ground, having 33 disposals and kicking 2 goals on the day. He had 75% efficiency, was using the ball brilliantly, along with Robbie Gray, who hit the scoreboard. He had 28 touches, kicked 3 goals. His pressure acts were enormous. They were second to none, and those two were the pillars that provided Port Adelaide so many opportunities and were just the grit of the team on the day. And we can't... Robbie Gray's back. I won't lie. The way he used the footy yesterday, the way he was dancing around, he moved so freely in the middle and also went up half forward, kicking a couple of snaps as well. And it looked good. That's the Port Adelaide we played yesterday. Was just awesome to watch. And I can't really fault anyone who played on the day. They were superior. Paddy Ryder looked a bit sluggish, but he played his role, had, I think, 20 plus hit outs. He kicked a couple of goals and was really influential. Our defensive unit was just awesome. Jonas backed up his performance after being a bit unfit and questioned during the week about his fitness playing against Hawthorn, and he really backed himself in. And it was just awesome to watch. And I think a really pleasing performance, even though it was St Kilda, but the pressure coming into the game for us to perform as a football club in front of the Chinese, in front of the national audience, and for the AFL to say, hey, we're a team that's experimenting. We want this to work. We're a young side. We've got to win this game. And we did it. And we should be proud of ourselves for doing that, because that was a big, big day for the football club. And we should be proud of the performance the boys put out. All right, time for the votes. And it was a pretty hard day to give votes, to be honest. There was 2 clear standouts, though. But one vote I'm going to give is to Dan Houston. The role in the middle, a change of game for him, and he really utilised the ball well. So many different players could have got that one vote. Like 10 different players could have got that one vote. But unfortunately, Dan Houston, I think, was the better of the lot. And he really stood out really early as well, along with Boak, who was sensational in the middle. 2 votes goes to none other than Robbie Gray. He was sensational with 3 goals, 28 disposals, really used the ball well. He just moved so freely, and the way I think the third quarter in particular really showcased Robbie Graber's back, he just moved the ball a lot better. He was roaming around the ground a lot easier than he's looked like. And we put him in the midfield instead of playing deep in the forward half where he's kind of restricted. Whereas this time, he moved around the ground. He was in the middle and he just looked sensational. And with the taps from Ryder and Lysette, he was eating all day. 3 votes goes to my man, Travis Boak. There's no one else you could give 3 votes for the game other than this sensational player. He's turning out to be a legend of the football club. And when I say sensational player, he's turning out to be, it's the fact that he's developing with age. He's like a fine wine. He's just getting better and better. And he's having a sensational season. He's probably leading our BNF at the moment. And to have 33 disposals again, he's third in the league for disposals, behind Lockie, Neal and Treloar. That's just, it's sensational to watch. Well, Port fans, that wraps up this round 11 review of Port Adelaide versus St Kilda. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of the game and who you thought were your best on the day. Now, with the bye this week, I will be taking a little bit of a break, so you might not see me until next week's preview for Fremantle, depending on if I come up with any ideas or not. So if you have any ideas for me to do while over this bye, comment below. But thank you so much for watching, and thank you for your support for the first half of the year. It's going to be a big second half, but for now, we're going to take a little break and refresh and get ready to back it up, because we've got a big second half, a big month of football to come, and it's going to be extraordinary to watch our team get across the line. Thanks for watching, Port fans. My name is Anthony, and as always, can the pair